Hi, Andrew here again. In this next video in the series I'm doing on behavioural biases, I'm going to talk about anchoring. And anchoring is the fact that we can fixate on the first number we heard. A good example of this is if we're going out to buy a new car. Let's say we budgeted 20,000 for a new car, and we see one that we like the look of and it costs 30,000. And then we go to the next dealership and a similar one is only 25,000. We fixate on that higher 30,000 and think the next one is a real bargain. We're saving ourselves 5,000, even though we might be spending 5,000 more than we originally budgeted for. Another good example, a real life personal example, is one that Carol and I had when we were moving down here to Devon from Guildford. And we had our house valued, as you do when you're selling a house, and we were given a number that was pleasantly surprising. But unfortunately, it took time to sell our house and we had to reduce the asking price. So we felt that we were losing out because we weren't getting that higher number, even though that was a notional figure just based on someone's value of what our house was worth, even though the market said it's not what it was worth. And this happens all the time with our money. It might be that we look at our value of our pension fund on one particular day and it's worth, let's say, £500,000, and we come back to it another time and it falls to £450,000. And the third time we check it, maybe it's recovered a bit and it's gone to £490,000. Now, if we've anchored on that first higher figure of £500,000, we might still feel that we've lost £10,000, even though that was an arbitrary once in a time figure and the value is changing all the time. And it also shows up in other decisions we might make. It might be that we're used to spending a particular amount each year on our lifestyle. And when we get to retirement, we want to be able to maintain that lifestyle. Perfectly understandable, but it might not be affordable based on the resources that we have available to ourselves in retirement. So we may have to adjust our expectations. Or we might change or have a particular view on what an annual return we should be getting from our investments based on what we previously experienced, although market conditions have changed. So the first way to make sure we don't succumb to this anchoring biases, as with all the biases I've explained, is to be aware of it and notice if the fact that we're attached to a figure that may not be a reasonable figure to have, and we may need to update our views. And it's also important just to, when we have a plan, to be able to stick to that plan. And that's to say, if we have a particular budget that we're living to each year, we don't change our behaviours because we fix to a particular expectation of what something should cost or what we want our lifestyle to be, if it isn't affordable, and we may end up running out of money. Or again, as I've described, having unfair expectations of what an investment return should be based on previous expectations during different conditions when the world has changed. So that's everything I wanted to cover on this video on anchoring. The next one I'm going to talk about is mental accounting. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please click on the thumbs up button. If you've got views, opinions, experiences that you want to share, please do leave them in the comments section. If you want to receive more videos like this as and when I produce them, please do subscribe. And if you want to know more about how I help my clients plan and live their ideal retirement free of money worries, please go to neliganfinancial.co.uk. In the meantime, thanks for watching.